Hello and welcome to the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014, coming to you live from the beautiful village of Champéry in Switzerland. Tourism in this village dates back to 1857, which makes it one of the oldest resorts in Switzerland. Main street features traditional wooden chalets and lots of lovely restaurants, the best in the Alps. All the action happening here at Le Palladium. Built in 1973. Skating and ice hockey are also catered for, but it's curling we're here for, and it's the women session 5, and our featured game is Russia against Scotland. I'm Alison Walker, and alongside me Logan Gray. We'll be bringing you live coverage of the whole game and updates from elsewhere too. The team's just being introduced to the crowd here in Le Palladium. And much anticipation ahead of that game between Russia and Scotland. Two teams that know each other extremely well. Eve Muirhead's team having won in 2011. There's the teams. Russia, the lead, Katerina Galkina. At second, Alexandra Saitova. Margarita Fomina is third. And the Russian skip, Anna Sidorova. Roger Smith, their coach. And the lineup for the Scots, the lead, Sarah Reid. At second, we have Vicky Adams. Scotland's third player, Anna Sloan. And Scotland skip, Eve Muirhead. And coach, David Hay. There's the standings so far, and what a great start for Russia, alongside Finland leading the way. Scotland just tucking in behind there at 3-1. Towards the bottom, Czech Republic and Estonia still to get that first win. Switzerland and Sweden lurking in the middle of the standings. And a quick word with Logan. How do you see this one going?
Well, they're certainly two of the most experienced teams in the field, Alison. I think we can expect a very high quality affair this evening.
There's the other games that are on. I'll be keeping you updated with those as well. But this is the one we'll be concentrating on. Russia against Scotland. Russia, the Redstones, Scotland, the Yellows. As Sarah Reid gets this game underway.
Yeah, these two teams went head-to-head in the 2012 European final. And it was Russia that came out on top on that occasion. And Russia have been the form team so far this week. Scotland kind of stumbled out the blocks a little bit with a loss against Denmark. But it seemed like they're starting to move through the gears now.
And for those of you watching, not necessarily used to seeing Sarah Reid. It's the change in the team. The Russians, as is. Katerina Galkina. He's the first stone for Russia.
Yeah, Katerina and Margarita Fomina, actually two-time European champions. They won all the way back in 2006. It was a bit of a shock result at the time, but it was clearly just a sign of things to come.
Although it took them a wee while again after that to get back to the medal stage. Sarah Reid, 29 years old, curling for a long, long time. And she seems to have fitted into this team, Logan, seamlessly.
Well, absolutely. Sarah's good friends with the rest of the girls in the team, and there's certainly been rivals over the years, but as you say, Sarah may be an unfamiliar face to many at this level, but around Scotland she's well known and slotted into the team nicely. It's really her first time taking to the ice as well, Sarah Reid. Playing alternate on a couple of occasions before this.
There's Katerina Galkina. Russian lead from Moscow. Been with this team a long, long time, 2000. She's a very good synchronized swimmer.
Yeah, and that was a lovely freeze there. Just a reminder of the rules of play. The two teams must play 6 ends as a minimum. 38 minutes of thinking time's the new rule this year, and 1 60-second timeout available to each team.
Vicky Adams, second for Scotland.
Yeah, interestingly, all the players on this sheet are full-time curlers. Just a sign of the professionalization of the sport.
And both these teams at the Winter Olympics in Sochi. And the Russians, of course, with their first bronze medal at the World Championships in Canada.
So here's Alexandra Saitova, the 22-year-old, definitely the most recent addition to this team. Just kind of came on board last season.
And Saitova and Sidorova coming to curling from figure skating. That was their background, so they were certainly used to the ice in that sense.
Well, even after that mistake, the angles are still reasonably in Russia's favour, so we'll see Vicky Adams just trying to move things around a little bit.
25-year-old Vicky. She was born in Edinburgh but lives in Tullibody in Clackmannanshire.
Well, this stone's trying to curl, would really like to get to the inside of the nose of that red stone. Just hangs a little bit high.
So this is game 5 for the two teams, Logan, and I guess they must be fairly used to the ice by now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the kind of the middle 3 sheets are reasonably easy to read. I think the teams they have a little bit more to contend with when they're playing on the sideboards. We saw Germany and Scotland in their men's draw this afternoon kind of contending with the ice conditions on the barrier side of the sheet, but it shouldn't be a problem here on sheet B. The ice can tend to be a little bit rough at the first few draws of the competition, but we're well in now, and we should have the kind of ice conditions that we require to see a world-class level of curling. So just another close look at the brushes. Really effective sweeping, getting the brushes really close to the stone and moving them quickly to have the maximum impact.
Really nice shot there of the way the stone curls. You can see it coming around now. And the job that the sweepers do.
Doesn't quite get down on there onto that red stone, but puts that yellow in a pretty useful position. Certainly has some nuisance value up there at the top of the forefoot.
Just wanted to go that 2-3 inches further.
Well, that red on the button is looking pretty lonely at the moment, kind of surrounded by yellow stones.
Margarita Fomina, 26 years old, 14 years curling.
Well, that's a beauty. Really nice shot there by Fomina to get the inside roll. And moves that red onto a nice freeze. I wonder if there's any value in running the centre guard back at this point for Scotland. Seem to want to be quite happy to continue to mix it up with the Russians and tap things around a little bit.
So a little bit of discussion with our vice skip on the decision is made. Anna Sloan, 23-year-old from Scotland.
Yeah, the lefty from Lockerbie. Anna Sloan does have a slight advantage on this shot coming from the other side of the hack. Just get a slightly better look at the stone she's trying to hit. There's quite a lot of red stones kicking round about the house, so maybe that's why they don't want to open things up at this stage.
Not the ideal solution.
No, but it might improve the angles a little bit for them to get those two red stones off the button at least, but 5 reds kicking about. Could still be an 8 on the cards, Alison.
Unlikely, but it's especially between these two teams. But things can happen.
Well, we've never commentated on an 8, so I'm hopeful it'll happen one day. Maybe not to Scotland though.
What was that day? The Americans in Sochi got a 10 or an 8. Was it a 10? I can't remember, but it was a phenomenal score. It can't be a 10.
No, I think.
But it was a lot. It made it 10. It gave them a 10-1 lead, so I think it was at least 8.
I think it was a 7. You can only score a maximum of 8 in one end.
I'm not prone to exaggeration.
I've told you a million times not to exaggerate. Anyway, here's Fomina.
There, that's where she's going. A shot on your right. Let's see where it finishes.
Trying for the hit and check inside, and they might just get it. Well, some really good shot play by both teams. Russia have played a couple of beauties with Fomina here.
The Russians looking nicely placed here. Taking the game to the Scots.
Yeah, actually, we run the guard right to number 3. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Just high up nose, eh?
Well, this one needs to be a good one. Not really the kind of shot that Eve would want to be playing in the first end, I would suggest.
Run this. That red's risky, skinny in that. You think? Well, it looks like quarter stone peel in the. Yeah. Also, I think your nose might be bleeding. What do you think? I think that looks easier than. I think that one, Anna. Quarter stone! Even if you can lift 2 of them. With no discussion. It was just a wee bit. Quarter stone!
Really thin.
I know. It's up to you.
What's our concern here?
Well, like, I think I'm not a huge fan of this. The sweepers kind of changing our mind in the hack. The other option was to try and chip a red stone in the house onto another one and get a couple out of there, but I think this is the right call.
So first stone for Eve Muirhead, the skip.
That looked like it curled a lot.
Okay.
Well, actually just moves the yellow stone up a little bit. Oh, we could just see about halfway down the sheet the stone just kind of took off across that centre line and Just need to be careful. A lot of red stones around there. Still 6 reds in there, Alison.
You can count.
6 stones played. 6 reds in the house. It's like a 1-4-7 break in snooker. 7 reds, 7 blacks.
Можно даже от своего, если хочешь. Ну, как бы, чтобы точно.
Я боюсь, что от своего мы можем... Он здесь концентрации нет, он не будет уходить в сторону. Надо все-таки стараться в него в первый попадать.
Хочешь прям сильным, да?
Или выбить вот так вот стараться, но это тоже опасно, сложно.
Мне не нравится то, что у них сверху остается, но правда у них углы не очень удобные.
Наверное, надо это все-таки убирать.
Да, да.
Я не знаю, как насчет сильным это делать.
Давай
Well,
на 7 на 8.
I think the easiest shot for the Russians here could be to just try and chip that yellow stone out at the top of the 4-foot and catch a red on the red on the left-hand side of the 4-foot as we look at it now.
Давай 0 какой-нибудь.
Should be an avenue to squeak it out of there. Looks like that's what they're going to do. It's probably going to take the 8 off though.
They still did quite well out of this end for sure.
Well, absolutely. Eve's going to need to be really careful with her last stone if she doesn't want to lose a big end. So it should be a reasonably straightforward shot for Anna Sidorova.
The 23-year-old from Moscow. She's been around so long, still only 23.
Well, and it's crazy to think that she's only been playing for 9 years and had the kind of success that she's had. A little bit wide with that, but does improve the angles slightly. I think Eve's just going to have to try and shift as much granite as possible with her next one. Give it the old heave-ho.
Technical term.
On the nose, it might, you know, it might balance out so that beats it. We smack it right in the nose. Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think I'll need much on it because we can afford to
No, I
get
don't think
inside.
that's much either.
Well, as Eve said, she's going to smack it right on the nose. And might even be able to get
Okay, smack that really hard.
3 reds spinning out of the 4-foot circle.
Watch for this moving,
Yep.
Eve.
Be prepared to see a bit of force here,
Feel.
a bit of power from Eve Muirhead. Focus, the concentration.
Yep, you gotta go.
Oh, that was really tight from Eve. Can the supers hold it? Oh, super result.
Nice shot.
Well, that's a great result. Really difficult to see how Russia can score 2 now.
The 3 yellows lurking in great positions for Team Scotland.
And hit it quite a bit inside where she planned to, but the stones were close enough together that she kind of got away with it. So, you know, if Nicolas Adine was coming to play next, there might be an opportunity to get all those yellows out of there, but I'm not sure that that Anna Sidorova has that kind of firepower.
And maybe she wouldn't necessarily try it at this stage in the game, even if she felt she could make it. Russia know they have 1 already.
Oh, wow. Terrific shot there by Anna Sidorova. Just manages to wiggle one onto the edge of the button.
Very well played by the Russian skip.
Yeah, I think you've got to say it was a well-deserved multiple score for the Russians there. Could have been more at one point, but they'll settle for that start.
Yep, after the first end, it's 2 to Russia, 0 to Scotland. Just take a look at that final stone from Sidorova again, knowing they had 1 stone in the bag. Could she make it 2? And there it goes. Nice finish to the end for Russia.
Yeah, and a lot of good shots played there. Certainly looking forward to seeing how this game pans out. And Katerina Galkina getting us underway here in the second. Scotland trying to open up this second end with a corner guard. And just rears up in time. First they want to use the free guard zone to try and get some stones in play and get a multiple score back with the last stone advantage.
Galkina for Russia.
Okay, so Russia are quite content to try and keep the play in the centre of the sheet. And Scotland will start to try and move the play towards the corner guard. Oh, nice double take out there by Sarah Reid.
Okay, nice shot.
And more importantly, probably keeps her shooter stone in play. We saw yesterday the Russians getting a lot of success against Sweden just by throwing a lot more rotation than their Swedish counterparts. Might find the same thing again today against the Scots. Don't put quite as much handle on the stone. You see it spinning down the ice there. It's just got a bit of a slower rotation for the Scots. The Russians really get it spinning a lot more. When they're not spinning quite as fast, the stones can curl a lot more at times, and just makes it a little bit more difficult to control the stones.
Would you say it's a more confident curler that gives it more rotation?
No, I wouldn't say that's the case. I think the ice conditions are so good these days, and the stones are so aggressive and they curl so much that you can afford to spin the stones a little bit and let them run, and then as they start to slow down, they'll still cut in nicely at the end. You just get a little bit more control over the running path of the stone. That being said, if the ice conditions are a little bit straighter, then having less handle means that the stones curl more and gives you more of a chance of tucking in behind the guards. So there's pros and cons to both approaches.
And does it depend on who you're playing?
No, I think I don't think you want to muck about with that stuff too much. It's just your technique, and you want it to be as repeatable as possible.
I'm sure David Hay will be saying that, or will have said that, certainly to his Scotland team. Play your own game here.
Yeah, Dave Hay's been around the block once or twice.
But he brings a lot to the table, doesn't he? Just clipping on the outside of the rings there. And there's the Russian coach, Roger Schmidt. Been with the girls a little while now. Guided them through the Olympic Games in their own country. Let's watch the rotation here.
Yeah, just to go on from what I was saying about rotation, the great thing about the Russian team is that they throw it all the same. They kind of roughly throw it the same amount of rotations, and I'm just guessing, but they must put some work into that and practicing and trying to get them spinning the same, and that'll just make Anna Sidorov's job so much more easy when it comes to picking what ice to take to make the shots, and even calling the sweeping as the stone travels down the ice.
Yeah, because she knows exactly how her team are going to throw it. That's that consistency.
Yeah, and if you're only having to think about the way one stone runs instead of 4 different ways to throw it, then you're going to have much more chance of calling them correctly.
Yeah. Makes it a bit more predictable, but there's still variances, of course.
Now, really nice hit and roll here by Anna. Gets him behind the cover. So at the moment, I would say Scotland lying 1 and 3. And Russia lying second with that stone at the top of the 12-foot.
Мне нравится 25-3, мне кажется, он будет здесь валить. Да, должен, вообще на раскатке валила. Ну да.
Well, this is maybe a slightly riskier call, playing the down weight here, but they're giving themselves options. They can either make a play on the shot stone, or they can bounce off the top one and in behind the guard. So, well, picks the shot stone out, and Russia lie 1 now.
Конечно, слабее надо такие камни делать, чтобы слова.
Там это, смотреть нужно за временем. У нас уже 29.
Play the same draw shot as he played for her draw shot.
I think she wants to show an edge on this side.
Okay.
Right. 3-1?
Yes.
Anna Sloan for Scotland.
It's nice, 7!
Yeah, line! Okay. Yeah, line! Okay, way only!
Hard line! 6!
Hard! Oh, way only! Way only! Way only!
7! Maybe 8.
8's okay, 8's okay.
Давай, дальше.
Let's catch up on sheet C then. Denmark against Latvia. 0-0 after the first. This is the second end, and Lenny Nielsen with the last stone for the Danes. doesn't look too concerned.
Yeah, the sweepers look reasonably happy as this one comes down. Needs to get a touch of the button here.
Yep, and that's enough. They get their first point on the board after 2. Denmark 1, Latvia 0. Back to our feature game, Russia against Scotland. The skips, Sidorova.
Well, good skipping there by the Russians, making the most out of what could have been a very poor shot there by Anna Sidorova.
Yep, she apologises, but actually wasn't too bad an end result.
Ближе сделали или нет? Неправильно сказала.
Well, that's another part of the game though, isn't it? It's not just playing the shots and making them as well as possible. Sometimes you get bad throws coming at you, and you need to make the most out of every single shot that comes down the ice. So a great job there by Margareta Fomina to get that one into shot position.
Just shows what sweeping can do. And how important it is in this game of curling.
So Eve will just want to try and bump these stones around a little bit and take the freeze off this red and yellow. Oh, mistake again there from Eve.
So the weight was all right there, Logan. It was just not quite the right weight.
Yeah, certainly since the game started, I think most of the play has been down the other side of the sheet. So maybe that side isn't quite running the same as the other yet.
So the Russian skip with her last stone, trying to make it as difficult as possible for Scotland.
Well, they would like a roll to the centre here. Doesn't quite get far enough to lie in second shot position, but still, I don't think there's really a shot here for Eve to score more than one.
Just need to get inside nose. Sideways. As long as we make sure we get one.
Oh, you heard it there.
Yeah, you're right. It was good. It was perfect. 2 more inches of ice, but we just get on a wee bit earlier. Okay. Yeah. Make sure we get the one. It's there for 2. Yeah. No, I know.
Okay, so they think it's possible to get 2 here. They'll need to get right across the face of the stone here and kind of just slide it off that yellow stone at the back of the fort.
So last stone of this second end. Scotland skip, Eve Muirhead. Wanting 2 here to level things up.
Oh, I think this is going to be good enough for 1.
And that was the most important thing. They heard Eve there, curl, and it didn't. So it's just 1 for Scotland in this second end. There you are, after 2, Russia 2, Scotland 1.
Okay, definitely. Fine. Right, up tight. Let's get a steal. Seal or force. Yeah.
I think that that second stone from Eve there just looked like a much cleaner throw than the first one. It seemed to run a much truer path. It kind of tracked out away from the centre line at the start and then started to come back in, whereas the first one was curling really, really early on. So here is that throw.
She was telling them to hold off all the way through. So into this third end. This encounter between Russia and Scotland. Live coverage from the Gruyère European Curling Championship 2014. Here in Champéry in Le Palladium Sports Centre. This is our featured game.
Well, Katarina Galkina is one of the best in the business at getting her stones in the right position, and especially her weight control is always exemplary. She's shown that again so far in this game, and this is another terrific drop.
She's very consistent, isn't she? Very reliable. Lead player. There she is. Lives and breathes curling. Says she doesn't have any time in her life for anything else. You know how that feels, Logan.
Well, not so much this season. I'm finding time for other things just now.
Just back 12. Just back 12. Close.
And these guys on the ice here are all full-time athletes. This is what they do. This is what they love.
Yeah, so a nice tap there by Sarah Reid. I think she's maybe got a stone that's slightly swingier than the rest. Just watching it go down the ice, it was really cutting hard. And Galkina returns the favour. Well, another nice takeout there from Scotland. These takeouts around the guard, they're certainly not hard shots, but they're no gimmies either, so full concentration required by both teams when making these ones. Well, good effort by Saitova to make the hit and roll. Just pokes out the other side. Well, that looked like it took off as well. I think the Scottish team just need to be a little bit careful on this left-hand side of the sheet. I think it's Stone seemed to be really grabbing hard, kind of halfway down. So Russia now with the opportunity to tidy things right up and take the hammer into the fourth end potentially.
pause it out. I gave it loads, just watch it. Halfway! Try and get it tight if you can.
Keep an eye on it, she said.
Halfway!
I gave it loads.
Yes, go, go, go. Hard, Sarah. Okay, well swept.
Well swept.
Well swept.
So expect this
Sorry,
one
I thought I
to
gave it
disappear.
way more than what
I didn't think it looked very...
Yeah, it doesn't really matter where the Scottish stones go at this point. They're still going to get removed from play.
That's the plan for the Russians. Clear everything away. Take the hammer into the next end. Get the chance to build for more points.
It's better! See?
Easy, line's good. Easy. Take your brush. Take your brush. So it's a wee bit. That's fine. Good.
Elsewhere we have the Czech Republic against Germany. Third end, Germany 1 up after 2.
Sweep. Yeah, sweep.
Yeah, Linda Klimova
Oh, half.
trailing by 1 shot to 0, and
Yeah.
Czech Republic still to get a win this week, and that could well put them on the way to getting their first one. That's a score of 3 reds and 3 for the Czechs. And after 3 ends, it's Czech Republic 3, Germany 1.
Two 2-1 here in our feature game.
Like nose it.
In this third end, coming to its conclusion.
You're solid up here.
Well, if they were trying to force the issue, Scotland could go around that red stone, but they choose to peel it. Or we'll just nose hit it, I guess, and we will see Sidorova try and peel it though.
Very upright stance there in her delivery.
Well, has she got anything? Just chips apiece.
Evenmere has last stone of this third end.
Yeah, there's nothing really much to do here other than just draw the button. Draw the button and give Anna Sidorova the furthest distance to roll out of the rings as possible. Try and make her score and get the last stone back. You may choose to draw to one of the wings if you think your opposition skip is slightly weaker on one handle than the other.
You still expect her to dispose of this and make the shot quite nicely. Last stone of this third end.
Well, no problems here.
Away they both go, so the end is blanked. No score. And onward to the fourth end. The scores remain the same. Russia 2, Scotland 1.
Still would be better.
5 games for the price of 1 here in Champéry.
Yeah, and things are starting to take shape as we sort of come to the middle of the week. Finland really the surprise package of the week so far on 4 wins and no losses.
Yep, they've made everyone sit up and take note, coming from virtually nowhere.
Yeah, I was speaking to their new national coach, Tomi Rantamaki, earlier on, and he's a very modest man and claims it was nothing to do with him that they're 4-0.
There's the names and numbers in our featured game, though, Russia against Scotland. Expected a tight game, and that's what we're getting. As we see Galkina from above. Good angle, seeing the rotation. Projection of the stone. And these two teams, Logan, just know each other so well. They know the style of play, how they play things, but...
Yeah, absolutely, and they both play at such a high standard. It's just going to come down to a shot here, a shot there, an inch here, an inch there. It just comes down to how the stones sit on that day, and it really is a 50-50 matchup for me.
And tactically, who would say you say is stronger?
I think I have to go with my own country on this one and say Eve's stronger than Anna Sidorova. She's certainly more experienced than Anna. Probably played in the big games a little bit more, so I think I would maybe just give Eve the edge on that. But Anna, certainly no mug. That call in the game. And potentially I would say the Russians make more shots than the Scots.
Here's Galkina's stats for the tournament, not in this game necessarily. 84%. I'm talking about how consistent she was.
Yeah, you're looking for something around the mid-80s as a bare minimum at the lead position these days. We'd expect that number to probably rise as the week goes on, as the ice conditions get better and you get more of a feel for the ice and the stones. So here's a look at Katarina Galkina's grip. Technically very sound, the Katarina.
And all of them follow that similar style in terms of the grip and rotation.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of the rotation, I think the overall delivery, Anna Sidorova's delivery is quite different to the other 3 players in the team. Vicky Adams playing 79% for the week. Maybe just a little bit below par.
Yeah,
well,
that was going a bit, wasn't it?
Not a good shot. Really erring on the wrong side there. If they come down and just tap things a little bit and keep their yellow stone in front of the tee line, then it's at least in a usable position. That really achieved nothing, that shot from Vicky. Well, Alexandra Saitova having a terrific week as well, playing 85%. Really nice shot there by Alexandra Saitova. Kind of takes the freeze on that top one away at least. Still a nice kind of pocket there for the Scots to draw into. Kind of made more between the red stone at the back of the forefoot and the yellow stone. Well, this is generally Vicky's strength. The big weight hits. Well, hits and rolls over to the other centre line. Covers the yellow a little bit. But you know what? I don't think that, like, Vicky didn't play a great shot with her first stone there, but overall, I don't think the Scottish front end are doing that much wrong. It's just that the standard of the play from the Russian front end has just been fantastic, and it's making them play hard shots, and they're really punishing them for every slightly misplaced stone.
And again, those margins so tiny.
That's actually a really good result there for Alexandra Saitova, I would say. Clears some of the play away from the forefoot at least. But Scotland have the chance to get a few reds moving here.
Yep, they're well spaced out.
Yeah, they can certainly shift three. The two in front of Eve and the one behind it, Eve's left foot.
Scots could do with Anna Sloan doing the business here. %81% for the tournament. Scottish third. What could she do with this one? So she gets two of them, Logan.
Yeah, good shot there by Anna. Just hits it a fraction too thin to get three moving, but definitely improves the situation for Scotland. Russia with the last stone and looking in good shape here for a big score. Two would certainly open up the game a little bit for them. So Fomina playing 83% for the tournament. So Russia have been making more shots in every position than Scotland so far this week. And that's a good one as well. Good shot by Anna Sloan. I think a good call there as well by Eve. Just they had a couple of options there, a little bit of room for error. They could have rolled behind the top of the circle, or they could have rolled behind, in front of the stone backline, remove and to like shot by Anna Sloan. Good sweeping as well to hold one.
Yep. To get that slow up.
Shot. One to lie to. I think they've been struggling to really make a shot to lie three.
See, Anna Sidorova was smiling too much during a game. She was there.
It is nice when it does happen, though, Alison.
Yep, the whole face lights up. She's always very concentrated. Sidorova very focused, as is Eve Muirhead. The Scotland skip. 77% for the tournament so far.
Yeah, you've not quite hit top form yet.
Meantime, on sheet A, it's Sweden against Finland. The Swedes leading 2-0. They're in the fourth end. Finland, the team of the week so far.
Yeah, incredible. Just came up from the B group and they're just smashing their way up through the A group as well. This is Sanna Pustinen. And Supers are going to do well to get that one there.
Is it going to make it? No, it's not.
Well, a steal of one for Sweden. And Sweden off to a great start. And they move to a 3-0 lead over the perfect Finland so far.
I wonder if that is the turning point in that particular game. Still pretty tight in our featured one between Russia and Scotland. Fifth game of the round robin. The Sidorova's figures are good, 84%.
Well, they're making a lot of shots, the Russians. Really not putting too many foots wrong at all. Yeah, I said foots.
That's more than 1 foot. The Scots aren't playing badly at all. Just very few mistakes from the Russians.
Yeah, same weight. It's pretty solid, wasn't it? You were 63. Okay. Whoa, whoa! Hard! 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 Whoa, yeah, yeah! Whoa, 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 whoa! Hard, hard, hard!
Well, a nice shot there by Eve. Would it like to just roll half a stone further over?
Just to get protected behind that other red.
It is a slightly more difficult shot for Anna Sidorova. She is going to have to play it on the other hand this time, and most of the shots down through this port have been on the intern. And tell you what, if you're ever a little bit tight and you chipped out your own red, you're going to lose too. So definitely a more difficult shot.
Yeah, you can see the angle really well from there. So Eve's done what she can. Last stone on this fourth end. The Russian skip looking to pick up 2 here.
Well, there's a lot of panic here, but I think the shot's made.
There did seem to be a little panic actually, but in the end, perfectly executed by Anna Sidorova. Nicely played by Russia. They've extended their lead after 4. Russia 4, Scotland 1. Here is that final stone again from Sidorova. A lot of shouting going on, a lot of sweeping going on. In the end, no need to panic. It was close to that other red. Safely made. to get there too.
Well, Alison, I think there's no doubt that Russia are well worth their 4-1 lead so far. They've looked in complete control in every end so far, and Scotland are going to need to make a few more shots in the middle order if they want to hang with Russia here. Another perfect stone to start the end from Katerina Galkina.
Yep, they've been very clean with all their play. Very few errors and certainly no significant ones. So it'll be up to the Scots to take the game to them now in this fifth end.
Хороший есть! Саша, очень! Начало смотрите, начало! Начало смотрите! Начало есть!
A little bit wider line this time for Kate. A good length. I think Eve's just called for a freeze or even a little bump on one of these centre line stones. Well, not enough running here. And again, I think there's just been much less play on this left side of the sheet as we go away from the home end, away from the coach's bench. And Anna Sidorova's going to give Scotland as little to work with as possible and just hack the corner guard off. Well, Alexandra Saitova throws it incredibly hard and with so much rotation that you can just off the nose and the stone will still spin out of play. It's a great way to be able to throw these shots.
You can see her breathing quite heavily there. That was a beast of a delivery.
Here we see it comes, just kind of trundles out, and then here comes the fun. Nice little bit of hot sauce on that one to get them all going.
It's only good hot sauce if it works though, and it did. Rather more sedately.
Yeah, well,
Vicky
absolutely.
Adams.
The risk is that you lose a little bit of accuracy just giving it that big arm extension. Doesn't seem to happen though for Saitova.
So the Scots get the guard back up again.
That's number 8. It's the one that's... I've said a few times about that. Just like come off the hill exactly minded. Yeah.
I think they're just discussing the stones there, the Scottish team. Again, it could well be the stones, but I still think that left-hand side of the sheet doesn't seem to be quite running as well as the other. Certainly had a lot less play down it.
Камень подваливает, садится. Одну? 15? Две на 15. сам.
Держись, хороший
Рита,
ритм.
будет подманивать. Только Рита, только Рита. Рита.
Только Рита.
Средний.
О,
Средний.
Сам совсем.
Средний сам.
Нет, нет.
Помягче, да, был? Стой.
Помнишь, что у нее камни высаживаются?
It'll look, but that's okay.
Don't mind that.
We can do that.
Okay, so Russia lying 2 here in 5.
I think barrier.
You're right. Barrier.
Barrier.
I was
As
thinking
long as our
diamond
shoot,
to
we've got to
split.
make sure shooter sticks.
Split the yellow.
I'm not entirely in love with this call. I think they need to be careful not to go further behind here, and maybe just
Yeah.
picking some of those centre line stones up might be a better option. See how this works out for Vicky Adams.
Barrier, big.
Yeah. Hard. Whoa. Hard. Hard, Dana. Hard. Okay. Okay.
Well, it's a tough shot that you've nominated there. It's really tough to hold the shooter on it anyway. I think I would have preferred to see her making a play on the guards and just changing the angles up a little bit.
Should they have played safe a bit more, perhaps?
Yeah, I think that would have been the case. Just opens up the centre of play a little bit, and you don't have to play it a massive way.
Here's Femina.
Well, another terrific hit and roll, and it's, I think it's a sign of really a sign of good technique and confidence as well when you're able to make all these hit and rolls so perfectly. Not seen many people manage to make so many of these hit and rolls in either the men's or the women's competition this week. So, but Margareta doesn't seem to be able to miss them at the moment.
She knows exactly what she's meant to do, and she does the job. And I skip knows she will.
Do you not think you can run the garden? No, I don't think we need to. I think if we make that, they're going to have to make a play in that, then we've got that. Okay?
Scotland certainly with a lot more to think about here, Logan. Generally speaking, not just in this end, but just generally.
Yeah, definitely, but the Russians are doing the simple things well, and it's going to be difficult for them to come back on. Anna going for a very thin double here.
Okay.
Well, one of them's away. Not quite what Skip wanted. Let's go to sheet D and catch up there. Switzerland against Estonia. 3-2 to the Swiss in the 5th end.
Yeah, it looks like a takeout against 2 here for the reigning world champions. Vinia Felcher leading Estonia by 3 shots to 2 at the moment.
Estonia new to this level. Skip does the business there for Switzerland. And after 5 ends, it's now Switzerland 4, Estonia 2. So the Estonian team still high in there. 4-1 here to the Russians in our featured game.
Or if we catch this and move
We're also in the 5th end.
Here.
Where do I need to hit? Just off nose.
Yeah, onto this yellow if we can.
So that's the plan.
Yeah, Scotland really forced to open things up now. I would like to see them do this just a couple of shots before. Russia had a great chance there to get another one in on top and really put Scotland under some pressure.
Okay, okay. That's better.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
better, Anna.
not bad.
Yeah.
Well, opens things right up. I think we'll see Russia just hit the wide yellow here. There's no need for any sort of risk in throwing a guard.
They don't need to try anything too fancy, do they?
And the great thing is that the quality of the setup play by the Russians has been so good that when it comes to skipstones, Anna's just playing easy shots, whereas you look at the shots Eve's having to play and Anna are having to play, then
Yep, they've been much more challenging. And Sidorova.
well, it's good to make a hit and stick on the wing there for Russia, because it could come into play when it comes to Eve's last stone, and I'm trying to stop her blanking this end.
On sheet A, we have Sweden against Finland. Swedes 3-0 up, remember.
In behind the corner.
Yeah, 3-0 up and lying 5 as well, so a big shot here for Sanna Pustinen. Needs to stick around. Super shot. It was just a nose hit, but under the circumstances, an absolute game saver there from Sanna Pustinen.
Yep, and the fans enjoying that one, as you can hear in the background. It's now Sweden 3, Finland 1 after 5. Quieter out in the arena at the moment. A lot of the teams in for their break after 5 ends. And Sidorova's last stone on this 5th end.
Well, doesn't want to disturb the red at the top of the 4-foot. Ooh. Well, moves it, but doesn't move it out of the house at least. So Eve just going to be left to throw a nose hit take out to just score the 1. Well, it'll be interesting to hear what the chat is with the coaching staff at half-time for the Scottish side anyway, because they really need to change something going into the second half. It's one-way traffic.
Last stone for Eve Muirhead in this 5th end.
Well, I can tell you that according to the Curlet stats, that Russia are outplaying Scotland by 20% of shots as a team at the moment. So that's
quite a large percentage. They do get their 1 there, and that does take it to 4-2. And that's not the position the Scots would have wanted to be in. The Russians looking pretty comfortable at the moment after 5. Russia 4, Scotland 2.
Get that. Make it a bit more difficult for them.
So first end, here was the final shot. Scotland looked in all sorts of trouble at one stage, but managed to find a position where Anna Sidorova had to make a delightful little hit and roll to score 2. Just managed to wiggle one onto the edge of the button. 1 end played, Russia 2, Scotland 0.
Get the 1.
Then here in the second end, an opportunity to tie the game for Eve Muirhead. Just ran a little bit wider than the first one and does enough to score 1, however, and close the gap. 2 ends played, Russia 2, Scotland 1. Then look here in the 4th end. tricky takeout for Anna Sidorova. Has to navigate a guard and her own stone in the house, and hits it right on the beak. Got another 2 on the board for Russia, and half-time, it's Russia 4, Scotland 2. So just an update on what's going on elsewhere in Le Palladium. Sweden leading Finland by 3-1. Denmark and Latvia tied on 3. Switzerland leading Estonia by 4-2. And Czech Republic leading Germany by the same scoreline.
Great first hand, that was fun.
Fun?
For about 100. I said we want to get
Да,
trouble,
мы
just
следим.
get that trouble out of the way early, and then everything.
В начале очень много
Yeah, in the middle of the second end, we were like, we waited like 11 minutes.
Он как бы
It was the middle of the second end. But we managed to keep up then.
That's the nice thing about the thinking time, is you can get back and go, you can throw stones in 4 or 5 seconds if you have to.
I wouldn't say wasted, we spent. It was worth it.
It was ready. It's good for the economy,
Yeah.
so it was, sometimes you need to spend to get,
Yeah.
to invest in the time.
Up there. Was it right? Was the run the right shot?
Do you not think, Joe, should we maybe have just drawn right into the pocket? With Anna's, was that the
My one. My one.
With the run. Should we maybe have just put one right top button?
We're gonna end up Julie.
I know I've left it a bit late, but okay.
Well, as I said, just before the 5th end came to a close, Russia outplaying Scotland by 20 whole %, just dominating in every position at the moment, and Scotland are going to have to find a way to turn the tide here in this second half. Already trailing by 2, and they don't have the last stone either.
So what would David Hay have been saying there, Logan, to get the girls going?
Well, I was trying to listen into what he was saying, and I think he was keen on them not getting so sucked in around the middle of these guards and trying to get too fancy. They're obviously struggling a little bit with the ice and the stones, so playing that sort of game, you're playing much more difficult shots that are more difficult to execute. And
But did you not think the Russians were sucking them into that? And that was why, because the Russians were playing everything so accurately.
Well, absolutely, and sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. It's just sometimes your opposition are too good, but I think at times Eve could have just opened things up a little bit more early in the end and given themselves a little bit more room for error instead of trying to play a very perfect game all the time.
So the Scots with it all to do in the second half of this game. Sarah Reid 84%. There's a Scottish lead.
I think try and keep it out.
The Scots maybe just need to take what they would view as a few more risks. Take the game to Russia. Certainly are talented enough and have beaten the Russians enough over the years. But this team have been very, very solid indeed, and she has in particular 90% for Katerina Galkina.
Absolutely, in the first half, Katerina and Margarita were the two stars, really, MVPs.
quickly, Fee. Yeah. If you can get to this one, go. Right there. Go, go, go. Right, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, really nice setup play here by Sarah Reid. It's a pretty good freeze in there at the top of the forefoot.
Чуть-чуть пододвинуть, Дилайн. Дилайн, это шестой, лучше просто пока, если что, на свипе.
This is live coverage from the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014. We're in the Le Palladium in Champéry in Switzerland, watching Russia against Scotland. There you can see behind Katarina, 4-2 to Russia over the Scots in this sixth end. And Russia, I guess, just need to keep doing what they're doing, and it's up to the Scots to take the game to them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a fantastic performance by the Russians so far. It's going to be more of the same for them in this second half. And they won't have to do anything too fancy either. They're just going to be peeling guards.
I've got an edge of it on this side, so it might be easier.
So although you see 4 stones in play at the moment, I wouldn't expect the Russians to
Are we just freezing? Yeah.
keep going with the draws and taking risks. The only reason they're having to do that at the moment is because of the free guard zone rule, which of course means that with the lead stones you can't remove stones, the opposition stones, from the free guard zone, the area out in front of the house.
Take a look! Take a look!
Well explained, Logan.
Wait on, Liz! Yes! Go, go, go! Go on! Hard, Taylor!
And if you do, they are replaced.
Go, 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 go! If you ain't, go, 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 go!
Okay.
Well, that's actually okay from Vicky. Over curls a little, but still quite nice angles for the Scots. Well, as I suggested, Russia aren't going to get sucked in and have too many stones in there.
Game accuracy 75%. Satova, and really I thought she'd been playing a little bit better than that.
Yeah, I agreed. She's had a good game, Alexandra.
These percentages are not necessarily
If you could just move it to
definitive.
block that.
A lot of them are judgment calls, aren't they?
What are you thinking?
Absolutely. The only statistic we're really interested in is the scoreline.
Yeah, that was my first call.
Okay.
I just don't know
Of course, all the teams
correctly.
do their own evaluations and their own analysis as well. What went right and what went wrong. Every bit of the game now is scrutinised to find that margin that might give you the advantage over your opponent. Vicky at second, coming up with only 43%.
Halfway, 3, 2, lines pulling.
Yep, 43% is a bit of a stinker.
Keep it clean.
Time enough in this second half though to make that up.
Over and up. Lines
Just a couple of good shots can do the trick.
Let it stop.
And we're really looking for Vicky or a world-class second to be actually playing double that stat. So really needs to raise her game in the second half, Vicky. I said that Saitova's not made things easy for her opposite number.
She gave this a bit of oomph as well. Away goes the guard, which she can do now, of course.
Same again?
Yeah. I got 2. What'd you get on mine? 28, okay.
And Sloan slightly down as well, 63% for this game. The Scottish third.
Yeah, and as mentioned earlier, if you have one player who's not playing particularly well and missing quite a few shots, then of course the impact on the next player is that they're playing more difficult shots to try and save the situation, and their stats are going to be lower as a result. So
Big knock-on effect. for the whole team.
That's it.
That one's well placed.
I can do that bit, but I just stay silent.
Away it goes.
So at the moment it's just like a little bit of cat and mouse. The Scots have just been picking up the guard, and then the Russians just peel it off. And at some point, Scotland are going to have to make a play in the house to try and get into a shot position.
As long as
And Eve may be thinking that this could be the time right now.
bad thing. We've not got hammer, remember. Right. A good 15, a good 15 good 10.
Yeah.
What are we actually doing here?
Wait, are we going back for? Just touch button. Okay. Just touching button.
Well, again, a tough shot being called here by
I think I
Eve,
just
not
had
giving her third player much real estate to work with at all. And you need to throw a pretty much a perfect shot down this left-hand side of the sheet that everybody's been struggling on.
Keep it moving though.
Scotland could do with this one working out, just to get them back on track, getting back into this game, and get the confidence levels up as well.
Well, doesn't look a million miles away. Can the Supers get it there? Fantastic draw there by Anna Sloan.
Good, Anna.
May not be quite good enough to lie shot position, but
Still. Really well played though.
Yeah, and there's a real team shot as well. Great communication and super sweeping by Reid and Adams.
And look at that start, 95% from Femina. She's barely put a foot wrong here.
Yep, you're absolutely right, Alison. Just can't do anything wrong. We got a little bit lucky there. They did intend it a little bit more high than they did, but great result.
A little smile from her too.
I think so, eh?
Yeah, curling's fun when you can't miss.
They're getting away with absolutely everything. Eh? They're getting away with everything here.
Yep, looking very relaxed, this pair. Playing very well indeed.
Just kind of half roll, yeah. Just kind of like solid.
So back to Scotland. Back to Eve Muirhead. See what you can make of this situation. Russians with the final stone, remember. She's 75%, Logan. And Eve is used to slightly better stats than that.
Whoa!
Well, frustration from Eve there, just rolling half a stone too far again. And I don't think it's Eve's stats that are really damaging the team. It's the shots in the middle of the ends. So they just rolled a little bit too far. Ideally, they would have liked to leave these two yellow stones lined up perfectly onto that red on the button. Just rolls over a little bit too far, and now Russia have the chance to smash everything out of there pretty much. They decide that they're in a good position to try and get more points on the board.
Единственное, они тут могут встать вот так вот.
Они могут стать типа стоим, она за него может, да?
Да. Еще углом неудобным. Надо с маленьким роллом.
Почему мне нравится?
Ну, в идеале, да.
Здесь, ну, как бы, да, здесь можно с роллом бить. Эти все равно идут.
Не висните.
I think this is probably the right shot. It's certainly the one that will clean the house up the best, and actually, if you play it really well, you'll potentially lie 3 out of it. So
Думаю, как лучше, когда хуже, лучше.
Но надеюсь, что не коснется.
everything they've called, they've made. So I don't see any reason why this one will be otherwise.
Is there a chink in the armour here? 80% for Anna Sidorova. Everything has gone pretty smoothly for them so far. Most things have come off. Will this one?
Another super shot by Anna.
3 reds. Boom, boom, away go the 2 yellows.
So Eve's just considering her options, and it pretty much looks like either try and spray all of these reds and limit the damage, or you try and freeze the shot stones, the other option. Make a tough draw for 2. But everyone knows that the freeze is the hardest shot in curling.
There's no way I can pick
But if she makes it, it could turn things in favour of Scotland. Just give them that lift.
So that would go for that.
I was thinking either that or we do that.
We are still only on the 6th end here, so a lot can still happen.
I think half stone that. What do you think? You do freeze that. You could even put a wee bump on it, try and get shot.
Is there any way of getting all 3?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking, half stone that. And the reverse kick should slide it that way slightly. The thing is, I can't take that handle because there's no way I can get that out the hill and go that way. No. So you'd have to go this way.
You can call time.
Yeah?
Yeah, call time.
Timeout called.
I don't really like the draw in behind because she's just got the wee tap on that, and she's.
But it's not easy. Like you can only see that. I know it sounds like a shot, but it's making her play something.
If we sit here anywhere high, like she doesn't need to be close to them.
They're the same as yours, just touching button.
So we await the coach coming down, David Hay, just to shed his experience and knowledge on this particular situation for Scotland.
Or we just half stone that.
With 2 of them.
I think that'll be close to them all, but
Usually it's play massive weight
I know.
to get all 3 away.
just play huge weight.
Yeah.
Huge
stones.
weights to try and. I think it's there though, but.
There you see the players and the scenario.
It's quite tough. You just play huge weight. Thing is, I wouldn't be able to play this handle because I wouldn't be able to get that number 3 in. Well, I don't know. I know. That's what I mean.
In turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my first
Well,
call.
it was either that or I was thinking. Well, that's here. Do you think we could play like a wee bump on that to try and bump it out
Then she
shot?
just picks it.
I know, but it's not easy, Anna. I know,
No,
but
I don't mind that, actually, now you say that.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's not an easy shot.
Over pearl.
Yeah, I think we go for that. Here. Okay.
Back button.
Same again. What do you
What else did you give me?
Where I put my brush?
Well, Scotland are
Give me a wee bit,
going
Anna.
to put the game on the line right here.
I think I got 12.
Was David Hay convinced about that?
Well, at the end of the day, he's just an advisor, consultant to come down and give his opinion, and he doesn't need to be in full agreement, but
Yeah, so that we can let it.
I think
focus
if
on
he felt they
itself.
were confident enough about it, then do it.
well, absolutely, there's the old school of thought that you're better playing the wrong shot and making it than playing the right shot and missing it. So I'm not saying this is the wrong shot, however, it's just a very bold call, and keeps really giving Russia the chance to potentially score 4 here.
Yep, crucial shot in this game from a Scotland point of view.
And this is gone.
Go, guys.
And that was not what they hoped for. The grimace on Eve Muirhead's face.
It's way out there, eh? That's just shaking you off.
I thought I'd put like that.
Well, I think I just heard Eve say that she's going to call it a day as soon as this stone comes to rest. So 8-2 would be a
Mountain to climb. They played a very composed game, the Russians.
Oh, they've been absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best performances I think I've seen from a women's team. Just haven't missed a thing, the Russians.
So is this the last stone of the game? It's the last stone of this sixth end for sure from Anna Sidorova.
I think we're okay here. And it's going to be a score of 4, and
Yep, they are calling it quits. Just too much to make up, and you've got to conserve energy for the rest of your games. Disappointing defeat from a Scotland point of view, but if you're Russia, you're looking very good indeed. Great win for them over one of the favourites. Final score, Russia 8, Scotland 2.
yeah, and based on that performance, it certainly looks like Russia going from strength to strength after picking up their first world medal this year in St John. And they'll be absolutely thrilled with that victory, going to 5-0. Scotland will drop to 3 wins and 2 losses. Still going to be in tied 3rd position. Worst case scenario, they're in 3rd on their own at the moment. So Anna just doing the necessaries, signing the scorecard, and that one will go into the history books. And we're just going to move next door to sheet A. Sweden trying to make a move and get into contention for the playoffs, currently on 2 wins and 2 losses. And Finland, perfect as well. They'll be looking for another win here to keep pace with Russia. So Sandra Plug gets us underway in the 7th end here. Sweden leading by 3 shots to 1. So I would say Finland do have some work to do if they want to make the playoffs yet. They do have a tough run in. After this they have Denmark, Russia, Germany and Scotland. So the magic number is generally 6. If you can get yourself to 6, you can think yourself in the Page playoff, in the top 4. So they still need to find a couple of wins, the Finns, and that would be a terrific performance by them if they manage to come straight up from the Bs and then qualify for the Page playoff in the A group. And they're going to need to play better shots than that if they're going to do that. They are still in shot position there, but does drift a little bit past the tee line, and in this position that was a great opportunity there. Karen Rudström just does enough to get that guard out of the way. Sweden 2 shots up with the last stone. It'll just be one of their main focuses will be not to give up any steals, and by keeping the centre play open, that's exactly what they'll do. Finland will need to be a bit more aggressive than calling shots like they are at the moment. Well, it makes a pretty good hit and roll over, actually. I thought they'd maybe throw a draw there and try and get on top of the tee line. Well, only really removes all the red stones there, so Finland now with a great chance to draw in here in line 3. Start to clutter up that centre line and try and make a steal here in 7. This is Heidi Hussey. A centre guard's all that's required here. So, will Sweden continue to open this up? I think they probably should. Well, Agnes Knochenauer, deadly with the big weight, and there's a couple of these yellows going, but another one just spins into the rings, but at least it's come away from the centre line a little bit. So Finland have got quite a good stone in there at the moment. It's not in front of the tee line like we would want it ideally, but certainly close to the button and on the centre line. I expect to just see them throw a couple of guards here and try and run some of those Swedish stones down. Well, comes in a little bit too far, and a chance here for Agnes to really do some damage. Could possibly get 3 of these yellows moving. Here we see that big extension that Alexandra Saitova puts to such good use, as we saw earlier in the game, earlier in the session. Well, just a little bit unlucky there, Agnes, not to get more granite moving.
Ootteko samaa mieltä pois vaan? 10,5. Joo. Rolli Marjalle. Pitäisikö se Heidi tulla ysillä? Mua pelottaa te linja. Oisko ihan vähän? Vähän jännittää toi linja.
So Sanna Pustinen just electing to throw the takeout here. The 26-year-old sports teacher. And makes a very nice hit and stick.
Kun mä heitin sen kovaa taas. Joo, ihan supervaikeeta. Kuva kamerasta. Ei. Se teki sen sama, mitä se teki siinä Marion ja Oonan heitossa.
I just saw Sana looking at the camera just now, and I think it'll be quite interesting to see how the Finns deal with actually being on TV. That's something we don't really talk about too much for the teams, but maybe for the inexperienced ones, they've started off this this game not on on TV, and all of a sudden all the cameras move over, and that might just change things slightly. So I would have thought the Swedes will be reasonably accustomed to this. I think, knowing Anna very well, that she's a pretty cool customer anyway, and also in Sweden they have a lot of web coverage of their competitions in Sweden. So I would have thought the Swedes will be quite comfortable with it. Well, Anna's going to try and make some granite fly here. All she's really trying to do is make sure that she scores here, doesn't give up a steal. 25-year-old from Stockholm, Sweden. Plays out of the Sundbyberg Curling Club.
Been 16 years on this team, so they know each other well. Her dad was a world finalist, Mike Mikkel, in 1985. She comes from a classy pedigree of curlers.
Yeah, absolutely, and nice to see her parents here this week as well. Dad's on the coaching bench and her mum's leading the cheer in the stands, so.
Yeah, both with very important jobs. The Swedes always supported really well at the European Championships.
Well, all Sanna Pustinen can do here is really put one in the front of the house and hope for a miss with Anna Hasselborg's final stone of the end. Well, this one's going to drift down onto the button, and I would suggest that Anna is more likely to miss a draw than a takeout. These Swedish girls are generally deadly accurate with the hits. Yeah, and of course Anna Hasselborg and Agnes Knockenhauer, the world junior champions in 2010 in Flims in Switzerland. So here's the final stone of the 7th end, and it's a takeout against 3, and looked like a little bit of a twitchy release there from Anna. Is it coming back?
Yep, she was a bit agitated there.
I think it's just going to do enough. Certainly using all of the room for error though.
Still counts. That's the most important thing.
No pictures on the scorecard, Alison.
After 7 ends, Sweden 4, Finland 1.
Yes. Vi kan vara lite försiktigare på sättningarna. Jag tycker Karin, lite försiktigare bara. Jag tänker på mina dragningar också, för de kommer inte alls med skål. Ja. Yes. 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 Nej.
You're watching live coverage from the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014, coming to you live from the Palladium in Champéry. This is what's been happening and is still happening. Final score, it was Russia 8, Scotland 2 in our featured game. 8th end, Latvia are ahead against Denmark. 5-3 in the 8th, after 8 rather. Switzerland over Estonia. And the Czech Republic and Germany are 4 apiece, so the other games all pretty close. I'm concentrating now on Sweden against Finland. There's the numbers there. No big scores, just exchanging ones all along the way. Although Sweden 4-1 up, Finland still very much in this game. But they need some numbers in this end to close that gap.
Nej, aldrig inte drag. Inte drag, Agnes! Ja, rent nu. Okej, så. Tjejer, ta ett sista andetag på hacket. Vi är lite försiktigare.
The lead player for Finland, Nora Johipi, in comparison to the other lead. Both 80% overall.
Kauhean hyvä loppuluista, siis ihan järjetön, toi hyydy koskaan. Hyvä Maria.
3 years on this team.
Yeah, and Finland not doing a great job of using the free guard zone here. Looks like it's going to be a pretty straightforward end for the Swedes. Karen Rudström came into the team as the replacement for Sabina Kraup, who played third for this team. Of course, the younger sister of Sebastian Kraup,
yep,
the two-time Swedish Olympian. Pretty even match-up at second. Ona Kauste just a little bit down on her draws. My apology, it was her takeouts that she was down on, not her draws.
Luna Gausta is a makeup artist and hairdresser.
Well, a lovely shot there by Karen Rudström. Peels the guard and just moves that red a little bit closer to the button.
Karen is a biotechnology engineer. Don't know how she gets the time.
Well, here's Agnes Knockenhauer, of course, probably familiar to seeing her as the alternate for Team Sigfridsson, who aren't here this week. They're the Team Sigfridsson are the reigning Swedish Super League champions, and Team Anna Hasselborg are the Swedish champions. And I believe the decision was taken to send Anna Hasselborg to the Europeans to get that experience, and I think it's already been decided that Team Sigfridsson will be at the World Championships representing Sweden.
Well, they are the Olympic silver medalists, but they have played in so many Europeans. I suppose the Swedish curling people in the know have to look to the future and think about giving their younger players experience at the top level. And so much of this game is about that experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I think even regardless of age, people's circumstances change, and you can't just rely on one team these days. You need to make sure there's more talent coming through.
And I'm sure there are a lot more with the Swedish Curling Academy. A lot of good young players in that country. Hugely successful curling nation, men's and women's, and great systems in place to bring more through. But opportunities to play at this high level are few and far between.
Well, absolutely, and especially when Team Sigfridsson are putting in the performances that they have been at all levels.
It's a comparison of the thirds, Logan.
Yeah, nice to see Agnes raising her game a little bit after a really poor performance last night. Up to 80% and exactly where she should be at third.
Eighth end of this intriguing contest between these two Scandinavian countries. And really, I'm sure the Finns would love to get one over on their Swedish neighbours. And they're hanging in there, still in with a chance.
Well, they don't seem too interested in the corner guard here. I think they're going to try and throw one to the other wing. You would see a lot of teams just peel the corner here. And especially in the eighth end, you just, with a 3-shot lead, you just really want to put more ends in the books.
And sheet C, also the eighth end. This is a close one between Denmark and Latvia. Latvia with the edge ahead at the moment.
Yeah, but Lena Nielsen with a chance here to maybe score a fistful.
Yep, this could be the hammer blow, if you like, for the Latvians. If she can make this, looks like it. And it disappears, but it is 4 to Denmark. And the experienced Danish side make a significant 4 in that eighth end to give them a 7-4 lead now, and very much taking command of that game.
Well, absolutely, and that would be a significant win if Denmark can see that out. It's been a long day, 3 games. If Lena Nielsen can see that game out, that will move them to 3-2 and right in the hunt for the playoff places. Of course, that Danish team, they have finished 4th at the last 3 European Championships. So
such a sore place to finish. Competed well. This is Sweden against Finland, and it's 4-1 to Sweden. And this eighth end, comparison of the fourths. Quite a difference there, Logan.
Yeah, Anna Hasselborg having a fantastic game in all areas. And quite often when you see a skip having that good a game, you'll see the opposition skip really struggling because they'll be playing extremely difficult shots. And this is working out exactly as Anna planned when she drew the wing with her first stone, leaving herself a nose hit to lie to, and forcing Finland to play a shot for one. And actually, they're going to have to play a draw here, I would think. If they were to hit that top red, then it would be outcounted by the one at the back of the 8 foot.
So the Swedes have done the job here, making it as difficult as possible. Finland can only score one at the most. That means they'd head into the 9th with a 4-2 lead. Providing the skip. Sanna Pustinen makes it. She's a sports teacher from Helsinki.
I've got to tell you, Alison, that this isn't really something that you can teach people making draws under pressure. It's just something that you need to keep trying over and over again until you learn to deal with it.
Yeah, but training and in practice is just not the same. You need to be out here, up against it. And a sigh of relief. It was nicely done under a little bit of pressure, just to keep them in there.
Yeah, it closes the gap to 2, but still going to be a big ask for Finland to chalk up their 5th win. And after 8 ends, it's Sweden 4, Finland 2. Well, and if you have just tuned in looking to see some coverage of our featured game between Russia and Scotland, you're too late. If you blinked, you would have missed it. Yes, yep. 6 ends is all it took, didn't it, Alison?
Very professional performance from the Russians, on top form in that game against the Scots. Scotland didn't do too much wrong. Russia were just right on the ball. But lots of other great games going on here in this set of round-robin matches. And the one we're concentrating on is Sweden against Finland. Finland unbeaten. Russia continue to be unbeaten. But might this be Finland's first defeat? They are 4-2 down. And the Swedes with this the hammer in this 9th end. You're listening to Alison Walker and Logan Gray, bringing you this live coverage from Champéry in Switzerland.
Well, this one being drawn to the wing, and we're going to sweep over to sheet D.
Yep, it's the Swiss, the home team, against Estonia. They haven't had this all their own way by any stretches of the imagination. 8th end. It's the Estonian skip with the final stone. 35-year-old from Tallinn. And they're hanging on in there, the Estonians. 5-4.
So a couple of reds in the house. And takeouts are not what Finland need at this point. Just a nice little draw around the guards will be just fine. You can get rid of those ones later on, but they can't make a hit and roll over, but just playing a straight draw might be a better option at this stage. Well, a terrific hit and roll, that being said. Great shot there by Ona Kausta.
Yep, neatly beside that guard, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that makes a perfect roll as well. Completely covers the front of the lid. So Karen Rudstrom trying to take the guards off here. And, oh, that's an absolute disaster. Just glanced that front guard that she was trying to take out and runs through and picks her own stone out of the house as well. Sorry, Alison.
No, but could that be the moment? Could that be that door opening for Finland?
Well, you know, it certainly just creaked a little bit. If Una Kausta could ever just draw one right on top of that yellow stone, could be a steal of 2 on the cards for Finland. And that would make it interesting coming home.
So hoping to make up for that previous error. Knocks the yellows about a bit.
So a couple of yellows in there on the centre line and much better take out there. So it's just going to be a single guard out front.
Yep, Heidi Hossi been asked to just place it for some protection.
Yeah, there's some compatriots in to watch Anna Hasselborg this evening. The brand new team Niklas Edin, merged with team Oscar Eriksson.
Ja, rörelse då. Ja.
Agnes just giving some instruction at the other end. So a bit of cut and thrust on this stone. Away goes the guard. Heidi Hossi's second stone. Finn's keen to limit the options for the Swedes here.
Oh, see this big weight coming down again. Oh, fantastic shot by Agnes Knockner. Really got her eye in this evening.
Yep, fans enjoyed that one.
And there is Anna Hasselberg's mum, too, from the left.
Is she going to wave? But he is. Yep, great shot from Agnes.
Yeah, I believe the guy waving there was Sandra Flug's husband.
Well, he was getting very excited anyway. And rightly so.
Heidi, tullaan toiselta puolelta. Me ollaan heitetty sitä niin paljon enempi. Nimenomaan. Juurikin näin. 15. Huono kierre! Nousee liikaa!
So the centre guard going back on here, but not protecting nearly as good a shot stone as previously after that fantastic run back by the Swedish third. Well, I'm not too sure about this one from Anna. She doesn't really need to score 2 here. She only needs to score 1 to keep control of this game. And this is how you could end up losing a steal of 2 if you don't get this one quite right.
She just needs to play this relatively safely. The Swedes are in a really good position.
Well, important to get this one in a good spot. Certainly needs to go into the rings and certainly needs to lie short as well.
Go, go, go! Hård! Jättefinlinjen! Go, go, go! Ni har det, tjejer! Go, go, go!
I think she's happy with the line.
Well, will it get to short position? Oh, that's exactly why you don't make that call. Just come up a little bit short and even covered the button even better for Finland, so they can draw another one in here. Yeah, and that's maybe one of the lessons they might have to learn at this international level. Their first appearance this week, of course.
So, chance for Finland here.
Tässä on se ryöstön paikka, mutta on myös riski. Että jos tarvii mennä niin piiloon kuin saa. Itse asiassa kyllä se näyttää, että sinne ihan hyvin pääsisi tästä. Tarvii päästä sen punaisenkin jo. Pitäkää luistaa. Joo, mä luulen, että Joni, oistakaa ihan vähän! Joo, toi linjakin näyttää ihan pelaamattomalta. Mä sanoisin 13 tuo. 13. Et se kuulostaa. Todellakin ihan nimenomaan. Ja kuuraa varmaan aika reippaasti.
So, a good draw required here by Sanna Pustinen. Not had a great game, but if she could ever make a good one here, maybe they could even tie this game up coming home.
Yep, this is the moment.
Well, it's got a lot of running to do. We saw the boys this afternoon, this sheet really struggling on this side, being a little bit slower. Come on, keep going, sweepers. Comes up a little bit shy, and it's a bit of a let-off there for Anna. Made a big tactical error by not peeling the centre guard.
borde vara samma linje som
Well,
samlas ner.
this draw is less than straightforward.
Yes.
Needs to navigate that red guard on the left-hand side of your screen, and also the red stone at the top of the 8-foot circle too. The stone will be curling from the guard to the stone on the center line, so needs to thread it between those two and stop it somewhere in the 4-foot circle.
Yeah, there's a few obstacles, and there's also the ice to consider as well on this outside sheet. They have been let off the hook to some extent. Last stone of this 9th end. Oh dear.
Well, they really deserve to lose a steal there. That was a very basic mistake with their skips first stone in that 9th end.
Yep, they've closed the gap. Steal for Finland. Sweden 4, Finland 3. And they're hanging on by their fingernails, the Finnish team, but they're still in with a shout in this game.
Well, just a one-shot game coming home all of a sudden. Finland just clawing their way back into this game, 1 point at a time.
That has been the story of the entire game, actually. Ones all the way through.
Yeah, the scoreboard looks like a binary code at the moment.
It does. There's the stats after the first 5 ends. Score 4-3. And pretty poor on the hits.
Yeah, actually, and are really strong in the draws, which could indicate that they've been throwing a lot of guards because they've been chasing the game as well, and Sweden have just been peeling them off. We didn't see the kind of first half of the game, so hard to say, but it's certainly been throwing a lot of guards since we've joined as they chase the game.
So all down to this end.
Must get over the hog line. Have they managed it? I would say by the body language, that's a no.
That's such a wasted shot. And one you actually don't see happening very often.
No, absolutely not. And that just gives Sweden the option just to throw their stone away. They don't need to score here in the 10th end, so no point leaving any stones around to
cause trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything in play is something that the Finns can potentially use to their favour.
So 10th end of this intriguing battle between Finland and Sweden. Live coverage from Alison Walker and Logan Gray from the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014. We're in the Le Palladium in Champéry in Switzerland. We've already seen Russia beat Scotland, and it looks like it should be fairly straightforward for Sweden to win this one in this final end.
Well, this time Sweden are going to call the tick shot. Of course, the tick shot is a kind of soft weight takeout, but the stone's not actually going to go out of play. The free guard zone rule is in effect, and it just means you can move the opposition stones around when it's in the guarding area of the sheet.
So you are allowed to touch them as long as they don't.
It's just a little bit too much weight there from Sandra Flug for me. You see the best exponents of it these days, they're playing at a much lighter weight than that and just chipping the stones to the side. Like Håvard Vad Pettersson, for one, just a terrific tick player. And it's something you see the leads practice more and more these days. It's something that they take really seriously these days.
It can be a very effective shot when it's done well. That one wasn't, and obviously it hit the side, so it is put back in play. See this one curling in towards the centre line.
Well, they have a double centre guard in play, the Finns, and despite that miss with their first stone of the end, they do have a chance to steal, and really good separation between the two yellow stones at the moment.
Only stolen 1 point, and that was in the last end. So things can still happen, especially at this pressurised end of the game.
Well, they were really looking for a long guard here, and this one looks like it might go a little bit close to this yellow, and there will be a chance for a double peel there for Sweden.
On to sheet C, that Denmark-Latvia game, we thought Denmark were beginning to take control, and indeed they have. 7-4 up. We're into the 9th end. The Latvian skip with the final stone.
Well, this looks very tight. Don't think the sweepers are going to be able to save this one. And there's going to be at least one for Denmark. How many is it?
It is one.
Thank you, Stephanie. Just one.
After 9. Denmark 8. We have 4 going into that final end. And really the killer blow was that 4, as far as Latvia were concerned, for the Danes in the 8th end in that one. We've all had ones here in this game between Sweden and Finland. 4-3 in this 10th end to the Swedes. And they have final stone. So you would think this would be fairly straightforward. And this would halt Finland's 100% record so far.
Well, we saw a terrific takeout from Agnes in the last end. So a tough one to get them both going here. Oh, and a bit greedy there. The first rule of playing a double takeout like that is that you make sure that you get rid of the first one and your shooter. And that's the mistake that Finland needed. Double centre, and they can swing one round onto the button now, so maybe life in this game yet.
Heidi Hossi, student from Helsinki.
Well, just over curls a little bit, and they would like to get that one a little bit closer to the button. That stone not really in a stealing position at the moment.
And some Finnish fans really trying to cheer their team on. You can hear the bell there in the background.
Men även om du bara tar en övre, om de lägger en till center.
Well, Agnes' previous stone really couldn't have gone worse, to be honest. Just left those stones perfectly in line, pretty much.
Yep.
I think the shot's still the peel here for Sweden.
Remember, they don't have to score here. They're 4-3 in the lead. It does affect your thinking, that, though, and how you play the end.
Well, makes the run back. Certainly improves the situation for Sweden. So I believe a timeout's been called here, and we'll see the coach making their way down.
Yeah, I think that's him just at the behind the barrier there.
Eikä. Mun mielestä toi on tosi ahdas toi. Niin on. Se on melkein pakko tulla tän taakse.
So we're just waiting on the coach making his way down, Perttu Pilu.
There he is.
Niin pääsee, se on ihan totta.
He must be delighted with the way his team's performed this week so far. And they're certainly pushing Sweden all the way here.
Okei. No me ajateltiin kiertoa, mutta ei mitään huonoa.
Jos me hakee tolla kahta pois, niin silloin me tiedetään se oma ja sitten saadaan ihan...
Okei. Hyvä.
Jos ne voisi ottaa sitä, ne voisi tikkaa, tai ei, sitten ottakaa haetaan mahdollisuus.
Totta, hyvä.
Tässä on hyvät mahdollisuudet.
Oh, my finish isn't great, but I think they should probably be throwing a tight guard here to allow them to come around with a draw on their last stone. Certainly that long guard at the moment not really good enough to get one in behind and steal with.
Remember, the Finns need to steal here to level things up to 4-4 to take this to an extra end.
I'm not too sure what they called here. Could be the guard, could be a draw. I would have thought Perttu would ask for a guard here.
15 varmaan. Onko se liian kaukana? Ei.
Sara Pustonen
Lähellä asti! Saa
from
viedä!
Finland.
Saa viedä! Saa viedä! Saa viedä!
Well, they need to get this over behind the long guard to stop Anna peeling it. Maybe a little sweep at the end might have helped that. They seem reasonably happy with it.
Yep, they're smiling.
Järnet ut så, tjockar. Kommer spinna upp.
So it will just be the peel here. The other problem that Anna may have here is just trying to clear her shooter from play with that red stone just on the left-hand side of the sheet there.
Yep. Hot! Whoa, 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 whoa.
Certainly throws it hard, Anna.
Whoa, Sandra! Hot, 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 hot! Go, go, go! Härligt tjejer.
Well, definitely better, and that red stone just spins a little bit further wide and could open up an in-turn draw for her last. Just a little bit in the way before where it was. So it's going to be a draw around this very long centre guard. Finland just not quite getting the positioning of that guard quite correct. The key is to get it in behind the red long guard so that they can't make a peel on it. And then they can hopefully draw around it with their last.
So what can they do now?
Plenty of time left on the clocks for both teams anyway. Well, Finland do need to score here. Just need to get something in the house and reasonably well hidden and hope for a miss.
So Finland's last stone of this end. Need to make this one count.
Line looks good. Well, you can't do much more than that.
That was a very good effort, wasn't it?
Super draw by Sana, and looks pretty well hidden, so either just a cold draw, or Hannah could try a controlled weight takeout to remove it, but he has a terrific draw.
Yep, she's acknowledging the fans up there. She's done all she can. Up to Anna Hasselborg, just to finish things off for Sweden. No pressure.
Yeah, 72% for 9 draws. Will it be a perfect 10th? Yeah, so throughout the week we've been looking at 14-second draws being around the tee line. So should get a little indicator as the stone crosses the tee line. The brushes are down early. Well, that says 14.9, so we're going to need a big sweep here. But I think they've got it.
Ooh.
Oh, who is it?
That is very, very close.
It's Finland.
It is Finland. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Seemed that Sweden had that all wrapped up, and those girls can hardly believe it. They have leveled things up. It's a steal of 1. 10 ends played. We're into an extra end. Sweden 4, Finland 4.
Well, and it's going to be really interesting here because all the momentum is now with Finland having stolen in the last 2 ends, but of course Sweden are going to have that all-important last on advantage.
Yep, you would still rather be Sweden than Finland. And here's that shot.
Wasn't really the weight that was the problem here. It just over curled. If it was half a stone wider, then it wouldn't have touched this yellow stone and it would have glided past it into a shot position. You see, it just bumped it and not good enough to get the winning point there.
It was nearly 15 going over the hog line, remember, as well. Right, this is a whole new game now here between Sweden and Finland. Sweden with the hammer. But Finland showing great resilience in this game, and they haven't had 4 wins out of nowhere, that's for sure.
Oh,
they've been playing well.
Definitely, and they've got their tails up at the moment, that's for sure. I think they can sense another upset here. And a nice guard this time to start the 11th end by Mario Hipi. Well, again, probably hit it in an acceptable place there, and just with that little bit of extra weight, the stone gets punched out of play. So the free guard zone rule comes into effect once again after that violation, and Hipi will just try and draw around that centre guard and create some more cover so they can get stone into a stealing position. Terrific setup play this time by the lead.
Yep, they're saying well done, Mario. And it's all over between Denmark and Latvia. Victory to Denmark. 8-4. Significant 4 in the 8th end. The blow for the Latvian team.
Oh, this one's out of there. Curling way too early.
Yep, the Swedes seem a little bit off. Maybe they thought they had this game in the bag.
Yeah, I've got to go back to that call in the 9th end, which really created the steal for Finland. Anna Hasselborg's first stone. It's just a criminal decision. It's just all been downhill from then on for the Swedes.
Still have the advantage here, though. But they will look back in this game.
Well, I've got to say that's pretty much 3 perfect stones so far in this end for Finland.
And there's another game that is over. And it's a very narrow defeat for Estonia. Still without a win here. First time in the top flight. But the Swiss come through. Possibly their experience counting there. 6-5.
Karen Rudström makes the peel and probably just rolls that shooter stone far enough.
Finland with 3 steals in a row now. 2 steals and possibly another one if they play this end.
Yeah, they're on the train at the moment, that's for sure. And this one's a little bit errant, but probably finds an okay spot. I think it would have been better leaving these 2 yellows side by side to make them difficult to peel, but I think ideally they wanted to put that stone back in exactly the same spot that they had it before.
Yep. Looking at that double peel.
Vill inte stänga den sidan bara om vi blir kvar. Kom och kolla.
Well, Anna, asking your team up just to have a quick look. Sometimes it's quite nice for the throwers just to get a better look at the angles, and might just help them picture that shot, use some imagery, and then make it.
Picture it happening. Just got to make sure you hit it in the right place. It's not always as straightforward as it looks.
Yeah, so a long way from the hack to the other end of the ice, around 45 meters.
Gives you some idea how far it has to travel and how accurate it has to be over that distance.
Well, only one. And this will be a real test of Sanna Pustinen and her knowledge of stone positioning and how to prevent the opposition from playing double takeouts, because there's no doubt that Agnes Knochenauer has the firepower to shift more than one of these yellow stones.
Placement here, absolutely crucial from a Finland point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's almost more important to guard the guard than to guard the actual stone in the button. I would say that's a really good shot. I think that Sweden might go after the shot stone here. Just they have the opportunity to move it.
Yep, they're almost directly in line, those two yellows. So Sweden are concentrating on the one in the house.
Well, it doesn't really need to make a hit and roll inside here. Just a nose hit would be ideal, I think, for the Swedes. Well, still a good shot, hangs around on the wings, and unlike the 10th end here for Sweden, Sweden do have to score to win this game, so that could be a useful little counter later on.
An intriguing extra end here. I wonder if these two teams are feeling the tension and how that will impact.
Well, doesn't quite get far enough round there, but they'll still get another chance yet. I wouldn't worry too much at the moment if I was a Finnish fan. As long as Finland have that double centre guard there, they're going to get a chance to come around it.
Is this going to overcurl? No. Past the guard.
Well, a good shot. Don't think they would have really wanted to roll behind the two centres here. Now there's another stone for the Finnish to draw behind. So looks like it shapes up quite nicely for an in-turn draw, but that is the more difficult side of the sheet from what we've seen in previous draws. And if I was advising the Finnish here, I would say to them they probably can't take enough ice over here. Seems to be really frosty over here. There's a little bit less body heat with it being right on the outside of the pad. And
so why are they doing it?
Why are they doing what?
That side.
Well, they're doing that because the Yellowstone closest to the house and the red at the top of the 8-foot is just set up nicely to curl around the stones on that side, and there's a little bit more room for error. But you can see quite clearly there, it's just a little bit whiter in the kind of frosty areas of the sheet. Sanna Pustinen, 72% on 9 draws. Well, it's not a million miles away. Is it past the red stone? Oh, just the faintest of clicks on that top red.
That was very close to being an excellent shot.
Yeah, and everyone's made the same mistake there. Just
you told them, Logan. You told them.
Well, they can't hear me, unfortunately. So.
Of course, it's much easier to play from up here in our position.
Yeah, absolutely.
Than it is down there.
That's why I don't play anymore.
So Sweden have asked for a timeout. Crucial point in the game.
Yeah, well. Again, this is a little bit messy from the Swedes. Too many stones in play for me.
Mikael Hasselborg will be coming down. To have a quick word.
Well, perhaps they just wanted to buy themselves a little bit of time to.
All right.
Well, I see him just.
I think I can see him.
Yeah. Well, he looks like he's having a nice time anyway, even if he's not getting to chat to his team.
The cameras were on him.
Well, if Anna could ever get to the nose of this yellow stone, it would be difficult for Finland. Oh, terrific shot. And Finland are running out of options here. This is going to be a really, really tough draw.
It is their only option though, isn't it? That was very nicely played.
Yeah, just takes away that in-turn draw, and they're going to have to go on the other handle now as well, just with that stone and the centre line being a little bit further away from the button than the one just played by Anna.
Certainly one of the more difficult draws that you'll see.
Yeah, well, I mean, the difficulty of this shot is that she's only got a few feet to work with, and she needs to find enough curl to make the height, so not so easy, but not impossible. Certainly lots of curl on the ice to make it happen.
She just wants to be able to put Finland under that bit of pressure for their final stone.
Well, you know, the one thing that you do need to do is to make your opposition just make a shot. So, see how this goes for Sanna.
It's looking pretty wide, isn't it?
Yeah, and we saw Anna Hasselborg miss a draw down here in a kind of wider line.
You see it curling in now.
Oh, and this one just took off. I wonder if that picked handles completely stopped on it. And a heartbreaking end for Finland.
Yep, disappointing in the end. They pushed them absolutely all the way, the Swedes, but it is a victory for Sweden. They stood firm in the end to win this one. Swedish fans very happy, mums and dads, friends and family. I'm sure Niklas Edin, the men's team skip, is very happy too. Final score in this one, Sweden 7, Finland 4.
Yeah, it was a well-fought battle though by the Finns. They looked down and out after 7 ends. They just kept putting those singles on the board and forced the extra, and slightly better placed final stones, and who knows, they may have stolen it from Sweden.
I don't think they'll be too disappointed with their performance, certainly, against probably one of the fancied teams here. Still 4 wins for Finland, but well played in the end to Sweden. Kind of ground it out. There is 1 game left in the Palladium here, and it is the Czech Republic against Germany, and also a very, very close game.
Yep, more extra end excitement, except on the other side of the arena.
6 apiece, they're into the 11th end.
And see Andrea Schopp 2 down up the last, managed to get her 2 on the board. And now looking in fantastic shape. This is the final stone of the 11th end. Linda Klimova with a very, very tough shot.
Yeah, look at that, look at those yellows, look at the positions of them.
Well, I think the skip should probably be staying in the house to watch the line here. She's found a very good line. Is the weight okay? Oh, and a fantastic effort, but that just never seemed to curl at the end. And Andrea Schopp battling on.
That's a sore one for the Czech Republic, but yep, resolute as always, Andrea Schopp and her team. They know they got that by the skin of their teeth. Win for Germany. In the 11th end, the 2nd extra end. They'll be delighted with that.
Yeah, and it's sneaking those really tight ones that could really make the difference at the end of the week. Turning round the odd game, and all of a sudden Germany are going to move into tied third position with Denmark, Switzerland and Sweden.
Yeah, a lot of experience in that team. They've been done the rounds a few times.
Yeah, I think Andrea and Monica have probably played more international championships than the rest of the field put together.
Yeah, the Czech Republic will be very disappointed. That was a very, very sore one for them. But it is a win for Germany. 2 shots in that 11th end to give them an 8-6 victory. And all that hard work over a long period, the Czechs have nothing to show for it. On to the next round robin game. That's how you have to look at it and analyse a little bit, which is what the teams will do, whether they win or lose.
Still plenty to play for these teams on 0 to play for the B Championships. Well, our featured game is Russia and Scotland. And here in the first end, lots of stones in play. A really interesting first end, and it looked like it was going to be a bigger end for Russia, but eventually Anna Sidorova having to play a delightful hit and roll to wiggle one onto the button and get off to a flyer with a deuce. 2-0 Russia. Then here in the 6th end, Anna Sidorova with the big weight. And look at this one, hits it absolutely flush. Tears both of those yellow stones out of there and lies 3. Eve Muirhead went for a very risky draw, putting the game on the line. Unfortunately came up a little bit short, and it was the simplest of finishes for Anna Sidorova. Just needed to find the paint. And it would be a score of 4 and curtains for Scotland. 6 ends only needed, and Russia defeats Scotland by 8 shots to 2.
And there's the other matches for you. The final scores: Sweden 7, Finland 4, Denmark 8, Latvia 4, Switzerland 6, Estonia 5, and the Czech Republic 6, Germany 8. The series of matches were all very, very close. So after session 5, there are the standings. Russia with that 100% record. Finland on their coattails. 3-2 for Denmark, Germany and Scotland. And the other teams, Latvia 1-4, and Czech Republic and Estonia still to score that win in the round robin. Well played, Anna. How would you rate the performance of your team in that game?
Well, of course, it was the key for this game. So we performed well and we won and made a couple of great shots. Like everybody from my team did it at the right time, right thing, so it worked.
What do you put? This has been a great start to the round robin for you. What do you put that down to?
Well, first goal is of course like 1-2 page in after all round robin games, and then we'll see what happens next. So of course we want to win this event, and I think like everybody wants to win, but we want to be like at least at the medals. So we'll see.
You know how good Scotland are, and did you think they might come back at you?
You know, like I'm not against to play against them once again, probably at the final. So
well played today. That was a great performance.
Thank you.
So from myself, Logan Gray and Alison Walker, thanks for watching this evening. Russia defeats Scotland by 8 shots to 2. And join us for more tomorrow from Le Palladium.